Okay, welcome all guys. So we have this panel building your layer zero. I'm Francesco Pelle. I'm the president of Bitpolito. That is a student team from Politecnico of Turin in the north of Italy. We do basically education and open source development on Bitcoin. And our goal is to bridge Bitcoin university students, sorry, with the Bitcoin industry to let them put hands on practice. I'm super excited to be with you all guys here. Thank you for joining us. I will leave you some space to introduce yourself and what you're currently working on. So, would like to start. Queen, you want to start? And Marcel, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So my name is Lauren Marcel. I am from Kenya, Nairobi specifically. I am building a safe space for African females to learn about Bitcoin. So we basically train them on financial education and we leverage on Bitcoin to do so. So under Bitcoin Dada, so that's Bitcoin Dada. Under Bitcoin Dada, we have another program that is called Dada Developers. So Dada Developers is also another safe space for female engineers from Africa to learn about Bitcoin development and open source. I've been in the Bitcoin ecosystem for, I think, 4 years now. And yeah, going strong.
Thank you, Marcel. Okay, so you want to follow Lisa, Nifty? Yeah.
Sure, go. Hi, my name's Lisa. I also go by Nifty and I'm a longtime software developer who started organizing events for Bitcoin developers and running a school to teach developers who want to learn about how Bitcoin works back in like 2021, 2022. I've been working in Bitcoin since 2018.
Cool. Thank you. Lucas, we're missing you.
Hey, I'm Lucas. I'm talking from São Paulo, Brazil. I run two different communities, one a more general community that gets together every year at Satsconf, a conference in São Paulo. People like to call it the Bitcoiners New Year's Eve in Brazil. That's like a party that everyone gets together and get inspired by different speakers from across the world. And then I run a technical community below what is an organization I founded called Vinteum, which is a nonprofit funding Bitcoin developers working Bitcoin open source software. And we also do education and onboarding new developers to open source Bitcoin.
Super. Thank you all for presenting yourself. So, as the title of the panel say, we're always talking about building other layers on Bitcoin, but everything starts from layer zero, no? But from people. And so you all like created or worked in projects that engage a lot of people. That is like have a huge success. So I will ask this question to all of you. So if you have to define one thing mainly that you think is the core of the success of the project that you launch, what you think will be? So I will follow the same order. So Marcel, you want to start?
Okay, so for me, two things. Something that I learned when I was building Bitcoin Dada is people really don't show up because of Bitcoin. They show up because they feel safe, they feel seen. So my secret sauce was creating a safe space where these women could come and actually ask their hard questions without feeling intimidated, without feeling dumb, without feeling, some sort of aggression towards them. And also the other thing would be letting them actually use Bitcoin as how they want to use Bitcoin. So I know a lot of in the space there's a certain way that Bitcoiners want people to use, everybody in the world to use Bitcoin. So for me, I created a space where I didn't want to impose my own ideologies on these people or my participants or my individuals. So I created a safe space where they could decide, I want to use Bitcoin as a savings tool. I want to use Bitcoin as a cross remittance tool. I want to use Bitcoin, to just basically buy things from the shop. So that in itself really made strangers come in and, you know, be safe. And that was my source for building the layer 0 solution.
Super, super. Lisa, what you would tell about the project that you started during your career?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a couple, but I'll talk mostly about Bitcoin because that's where most of my focus is these days. I think the real secret to making it successful is like just managing to get the right people together. You know, like whenever you're building like a community or like a new node or starting a new project, I think the thing that makes it successful and keeps people coming back is that you get like people that they want to spend time with together. So it's really like tapping into like, here's interesting people that, at least for Bitcoin plus plus, like here's people that are doing work, that are doing interesting things that, and you bring like all of them together, they get to learn from each other, they get to share what they're working on. And then that attracts people who are new to the space, who want to talk to people that are doing things that are involved, right? So yeah, I think a lot of like the success for Bitcoin plus plus has really been just like tapping into a community of people that already exist, but maybe they don't spend time together in like a legible way.
Yeah, I so agree because putting people together is creating bondings and willing to work towards a same goal. So this is, I think, is crucial to build something successful. Lucas,
Yeah,
what are your secret sauce?
it's kind of similar to what Nifty and Marcel mentioned, but I think I want to emphasize like the importance of the in-person setup, like getting people together on a Discord server or getting people together on a WhatsApp group is awesome. There are a lot of things you can do there, but like getting people together in person is the most powerful thing you can do. So, and if you can do that often and like with some like recurrence, that's even better. So now in Brazil, we have 6 different cities where we do BitDevs meetups, and that really empowers the community, especially the dev community in these cities. So like bringing people in person and also bringing the Socratic style type of meetup where everyone is kind of active and participant in the discussion and not only passively consuming content from the speaker, from the panelists, is something amazing. Like even for Satsconf now this year, I made some changes in a few of the secondary stages because Satsconf used to be too much like speaker talking and the audience hearing. And now with the silent stages that I added with like headphones, people could also participate and microphone was like passing through everyone in the audience. And they could also change their like station to see what's going on in the other stages that are like next to next, side by side. So like this ability of having everyone getting together in person and participating actively and feeling like they're also important and not only feeling like they're passively consuming content, that's the most powerful like secret sauce that we have for building communities.
Yeah, I agree a lot with you. And in general, the next question that I would like to ask you, I experienced it myself. Every project that has success behind it has a lot of mistakes, error, stuff that make it tough. From my perspective, for example, as a students team, I'm managing now the having people that will continue the project in the following years. So passing it to someone else is really the hard challenge. But I would really like to know what are the challenges that you face during that period. So there is a lot of work to do, put a lot of effort to make a project successful. So what are the hardest stuff that you face during the path with your projects?
Okay, so I guess it's me.
Yeah, thank you.
I think for me would be, you know, building something that the world doesn't really understand yet, both from the continent, the people that I'm actually working with, and also, yeah, the observers. That in itself is hard. You know, pouring out your resources, whether it's in terms of time, money, or emotions, and waking up every day just thinking, is it really worth it? But then what keeps me going is understanding that the work that I'm doing is generational. So every non-technical or technical female who goes through our program is one less person in a system that has already failed us. So that makes me understand that we as Bitcoiners, or we as participants in the Bitcoin ecosystem, we are building a freedom infrastructure, and that in itself removes the option of quitting. So that has kept me going because, like I said, this is a generational thing. It's not just about us. It's about the people who are coming after us.
Absolutely. Lisa, what were the main challenges you faced?
Yeah, I mean, so the events that I run are the events that we do are like, they're international, they're global, they're not always in someone's backyard. So I think one of the hardest things is getting people to say yes to showing up and committing. So like it's kind of like herding cats sometimes, especially with, people who work as software developers or programmers or live, in different places. Maybe they're used to participating online, but then getting them to say yes and coming and showing up, I think is definitely challenging. And then I think the other part of it, like for an event, is getting the word out to let people who are interested and might be interested and don't realize that it's happening, like getting the word out so people know that your thing is happening, and that the people that are able to like that are interested are able to like afford coming, making the time to make the trip, that kind of thing. So I think there's just a lot of real world logistics to bringing people together for real events, that can be quite challenging, and a lot of them are frankly, like as a person organizing the event, out of my control. So
Absolutely. Lucas?
Yeah, I think there are two main things that were issues for me in the beginning, and I think now that we're getting to a more mature stage, I think it's maybe these problems are even like normal problems that will disappear with time. So one of them is being in a single point of failure of my community, like since I had a hard time delegating or empowering the community to like help with the project and the community building. So that almost like burned me out. Like I was working too hard and working too much to like keep everything like strong and together. And I think like even like with the conference now, I almost like at Satsconf this year, it happened last week, and I was like telling people, I don't know if Satsconf 2026 is gonna happen, but like the community now like everyone is contacting me and saying, hey, I want to help, and like it was partially my fault, but also I think it's hard to like make sure that we have all the people involved doing the work. It's easy to get and to come, but to put the work for the things to happen is harder. And then the other thing is how like you do a lot of small things that will only have an outcome after a long time. So there are a lot of people that are now success cases, and there are a lot of small things we did throughout time that in the like at the first look it felt like they were really small things that didn't have an impact, but the impact sometimes is like long term. So it's difficult for you to show your sponsors, your donors, like the results of what you're doing like in a small period of time. After 3 years now, after 3+ years now, we have a good like the results just show up. Like people see the community in Brazil, the developer community in Brazil is like fostering like so many cool stuff. But in the beginning, like it's a lot of small like ant work that you don't see the results right away.
Yeah, I completely agree. And what I personally think that in the end, what mattered the most is putting the effort, and things comes by themselves. And one thing that I really loved in these years I've been in the space, in the Bitcoin space, is that the community is strong, and with all the tools that allow us to connect together, as now in this moment, there is a lot of support through all the communities. So for who's starting something new, it is also good to feel support of the whole community. Do you agree that the networking power, so meeting new people and put them yourself like in occasion like conferences or being participating like chats or something around, it helps project to grow and to support also in the tough moment.
Yeah, and it's important to realize that people have different timings, like different contexts in life. So you do a meetup in your university and like 30 people show up, and then like maybe 6 months later you didn't hear from some specific people, but then you realize that the seed was planted, and maybe after 2 years they come back and like something happens and they are doing something, they're doing work, and that was because of that one meetup you did like 2 years before. But they just had different things happening in their lives. Maybe they were like helping their family with like supporting their family. They had to work like a lot of like many hours a day, or they were like just like they just had a baby, or like different things happen in life with different people. So timing for the results will differ from people, from person to person.
Completely agree. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think we touch a lot of points. I don't know if you want to add something on that, on the creating the networking, because I think it's super important for building the layer zero. Otherwise, I will ask you just to close it up to in one sentence, if you have to define if someone want to start building their own layer zero for their own project in one sentence, what would be for the audience, what your suggestion, the thing to start from for building their layer zero? Marcel, you want to start?
Okay, so one sentence. So I would say find 2 to 5 people in your community. Talk to them about Bitcoin in terms of how Bitcoin can solve problems in their community. That's how you start building the layer zero, by understanding their problems and not imposing your ideologies onto people. So that's it.
Yeah, agree with Marcel. Like two people is enough.
Absolutely.
Once you have 3 people, you have a meetup. Like I see
Yeah.
people like, oh, I don't have enough people in my city for a meetup. No, 3 people is enough. You have 3 people and you do it every month. At some point, this is gonna grow.
The kicking point is always starting from there. Yeah. Okay, Nifty,
I think
what will be your
I
yeah.
think consistency is really important. So, like Lucas was saying, it's every month. That's a really important thing. People need to know where to find you and how to reach you and what to expect. So yeah, be showing up every week or every month or whatever it is consistently is such an important part, I think, of making it a successful project in the long run.
I agree with you too. Yes. Lucas?
Yeah, basically that. Like just get people together, and you don't even need to have an agenda. Just put people together, like eating burgers or having beers, and have them chat about Bitcoin. Or if they're developers, like have them code something, have them like work on something, and like you don't even need to be there. Just put them together, and something is gonna happen. Like some new project is gonna like appear, or some new collaboration. Put people together in person specifically, and you're gonna see magic happen.
Super, guys. It was really a pleasure to speak with you all. Thank you for all the things that you share. I will also make a call to action. So if someone is trying to build their own layer zero, reach out, and people is happy to help in the initial start. So yeah, thank you all, guys, and I would say good luck for all your project and see you soon, hopefully.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.